And then last one, you going up against. I don't know what to put for this one. There's someone in here. I don't know who's in here. There's two people in here. Welcome, everyone. What is everybody's scent of the day? My scent of the day today, this is Mancera's Amber Fever. You get like some whiskey, some caramel, some tonka in the opening, kind of like a woodsy dry down, but good fragrance. You know, I only have a little sample of this one, but I do plan on getting a full bottle eventually. Scott, what's going on? My scent of the day, Davidoff Cool Water. Just the original, or is it one of the flankers? I think as a whole, the only Cool Water I've tried is the original. And I still think it's good. I would like to try the Intense and the Parfum because I've heard one is kind of like a little more modern, and one is still obviously modern, but like a heavy coconut. I believe that's the Intense or something like. It's either the Intense or Parfum that's like a heavy coconut. But the rest of the line really does intrigue me for sure, Scott. It's the original. The original's still good, you know? What's up, Mike Hiss in the day, PDM Haltane. Diego, what's going on? Haltane, I've never tried Haltane. That's definitely been on my list for a while. As is, you know, every other Parfums de Marly, I've never tried any other Mancera, you know, all the Creeds I haven't tried. You know, that one is definitely on my list. Held for review. I don't know why this guy held for review. Gabe, what's going on? Diego. Well, you're not allowed to be saying that because it's gonna hold Diego's name for review because Diego's name is actually a curse word, guys. We have niche versus designer fragrance battles. Now, I kind of wanted to do the issues. I have 5 niche fragrances, right? Like 5 full 100% dead set niche fragrances. So if I do try to do something with all 5 of my niche fragrances, like a fragrance battle, unless I have them combined with other stuff, then we always end up with an odd number. So for this one, we're leaving out City Rhythms Martha's Vineyard. We're doing a 8-round fragrance battle, something short. You know, I'm not going to be able to be live for like the longest time. So we have niche versus designer. I'm trying to give them kind of like the best counterpart I can. And I think I might just make one little switch here. F it. Okay. All right. We have 3 matchups that I think are pretty good, and then 1 matchup that I don't really think is the best, but still like sweeter fragrances for that lesser good matchup. First of all, before we start, as I said, let me know what you guys are wearing today. I'm wearing Mancera's Amber Fever. Get some whiskey, some caramel, some tonka. In the opening, you get a more kind of masculine, woodsy dry down. Really good fragrance. Hamp Edits, what's going on? And if you guys have not already, please make sure to drop a sub, drop a like. On the road to 5K, when I do hit 5K, I'm going to be doing another fragrance giveaway. And I plan on doing, I plan on doing a giveaway every single 1,000 subscribers. I think for this next giveaway, depending on the weather, I'm thinking Lattafa Kamarakawa if it's still a little bit cooler out, or, you know, cooler out while I hit 5K. So if you guys want to possibly win Kamarakawa or another fragrance, brand new, of course, not a used bottle out of my collection, make sure to drop a sub, drop a like, and, you know, stay tuned for the giveaway when we eventually hit 5K. Oud for Greatness is becoming one of my favorite DNAs. That one I really want to try. I want to try maybe not even Oud for Greatness, but like Oud for Glory by Lattafa, I want to say the brand is. You know, it seems at least there are, you know, some good alternatives out there. And, you know, I don't know. I think with Oud, I'm kind of weird about it because I haven't tried that many Oud heavy fragrances. But I think, you know, I think if I were to try some Oud fragrances, I should probably try like higher quality fragrances opposed to like a cheaper Oud fragrance because I don't want my first experience with Oud to be like, oh, it's super synthetic and bad, and it turns out it's just because it's, you know, a cheap $20 fragrance I got. I'm thinking maybe Versace's Oud Noir as my first. I've heard that that's like a really good entry to Oud type of fragrance, and that one really has intrigued me for a while. Want Haltane or OFG, it's about the only Oud I can do. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I have tried fragrances with Oud in them, like a Red Tobacco has an Oud note. Burberry London has an Agar Wood note, which is Oud. You know, if I didn't say red tobacco, I think I just said red tobacco, but you know, red tobacco and oud. My dad has a Juicy Couture fragrance that has oud in it, so I've tried a couple fragrances like that, but they've never really had like that potent, strong oud sort of scent to them. It's just kind of been like a little bit of woods, but of course those are more like entry to oud fragrances. Just saw Ambassador Imperial Valley, and that was an instant no. Gotcha. H Dog, what's going on? How's your day going? Oud Noir is a great start. Yeah, and it's still not, you know, the most expensive. Like I believe you can still pick up a bottle like 40 to 60 bucks. You know, it's not crazy expensive. Should I sub? I mean, subbing is always up to you. It would be amazing if you would sub. You know, if you're into fragrances, sure, you know, drop a sub. Show some support. Plus, I do giveaways every 5,000 subscribe or every 1,000 subscribers. So if you sub, it's just getting me a little closer to a giveaway. But yeah, we're gonna start our fragrance battles. Let's see. Again, let me know what everyone is wearing. I'm wearing Mancera's Amber Fever. I really do need a full bottle of this one. We are going to be doing, so this is niche versus designer fragrance battles. I really tried to match these up as good as I could. We have 4 different matchups from the first round, and I feel like 3 of the 4 very, very good matchups. I matched them up pretty well. If I were to have been, you know, like niche versus designer and clones or something like that, I could have maybe had some better matchups, but I just kind of wanted to do 2 different categories instead of 1 category against 2 categories. I just feel like that's a little bit more fair. So we have Mancera's Instant Crush going up against 1 million Elixir. Mancera's Instant Crush, kind of like it's looked at as a dupe of like Baccarat Rouge. This fragrance, you get a lot of saffron, you get some woods, you get some ambers, some vanilla, some florals. I will say, for this kind of being a more feminine fragrance, I have put a huge dent in this one, and I feel like it is more unisex than feminine. You know, but very, very good fragrance. I really liked the DNA, you know, the Baccarat Rouge DNA on women. I've always loved that DNA on women, but I didn't really like it on a guy until I got this fragrance, and I think it smells phenomenal off of my skin and every other person that has tested this on their skin. I think it smells great, and even like on my girlfriend's skin, Instant Crush smells great. 1 million Elixir, you get some rose, some vanilla absolute, I believe, Davana, a green apple note. Both of these fragrances are super good, and I put these together in a matchup because if you look on Fragrantica, some people say these fragrances smell similar. I don't see how they smell similar. Sure, they kind of have like some similarities, vanilla, rose, some florals, but much of like a sweeter vanilla fragrance, more of a floral fragrance right here. I don't really see how these are two, you know, very similar fragrances, but that's why I gave these a good matchup together. You know, yes, they are the same realm of fragrances, but I'm tired of people being like, oh my God, it's a dupe of, guys, Instant Crush is a dupe of 1 million Elixir. It's not a dupe of 1 million Elixir. Just because you think they kind of smell similar doesn't mean Instant Crush is like duping 1 million Elixir. Wearing body odor fragrance. You probably are. 6'7". What's happening, young man? Not much. What about you, Chief of DC? You know, pretty early start to my day. It's my first day of winter break. You know, I got the next 2 weeks off from school. Woke up, maybe I'd say a little earlier than I was expecting. I woke up at like 8 this morning. You know, normally kind of like sleep in first day of break, but got up, got a shower, you know, chilling, doing a fragrance battle. What about you, DC? Oud is your favorite fragrance. Pair it with rose, mango, iris, leather, you name it. I love it. I mean, I definitely do want to try more oud, or, you know, oud fragrances, as I was saying. Another one that I have been thinking of, God of Fire, because doesn't God of Fire have oud? My brother's Invictus, Victory Elixir comes in today as Christmas gift. Diego, there you go. Victory Elixir, great fragrance right there. I vote 1 million. There we go, Scott. Opinion on Assad, is it similar to Sauvage Elixir? So I've never tried Assad. What I have heard, though, is Assad is more of like, not as strong of a fragrance, obviously, but also maybe more of a vanilla take on Sauvage Elixir. So if you have smelt Sauvage Elixir, you know, it has a lot of pepper in it, a lot of woods. You get a licorice note, you get a licorice root note, not just a licorice note, licorice root. Very nice herbal fragrance. So I think based off of what I've heard from Assad, it would be just kind of an easier wear version, a little bit cleaner version of Sauvage Elixir. I mean, it's been getting a lot of hype, and even people, that are bigger influencers and stuff have been saying it does smell like Sauvage Elixir, but it's different, a little bit more vanilla, a little more fresh. So I would just say try it out. It's not too expensive, it's like less than $30. Even the new Assad Elixir is only like $33. So it's not expensive. I'd say to check it out at least. What about Oud Maracuja? So Oud Maracuja, I think that would definitely be a good bridge to eventually cross within oud fragrances. But as far as my first one goes, I don't think Oud Maracuja would be the best way to go. Maybe one of like the dupes or something like that. Like I think it's Oud Cadenza, something like that. Or no, that's literally just a different one from Mason Francis or Mason Crivelli, not Francis Kurkdjian. I know I've seen like a dupe of like there's Coco Morado, which is a dupe of one of the Mason Crivellis, if I'm not mistaken, or it's a dupe of something else. And then there's another one in the same line as like Liquid Brun and Coco Morado that's duping Oud Maracuja. So if I were to get something with that Oud Maracuja DNA, I think I'd go with that one personally, in opposed to Oud Maracuja. Try out a dupe and then get the real thing. It's heavy on the leather. I don't like leather though, so that may not actually be for me, Diego. Hold on. First of all, wait, it won 50-50? It literally, okay, I don't know if someone voted, like right as I was ending or something. I ended the poll when it said Instant Crush was winning. It said Instant Crush had one more vote. So I don't know if Instant Crush had 4 and then 1 Million Elixir had 3. And as I ended it, someone else voted. But I ended it when I saw Instant Crush was up by 1 after it was tied. So Instant Crush is going to be passed on. Shit happens, Yeah, God of Fire has oud more in the background, not dominant. And I mean, I think for my first couple oud fragrances, I'd probably want something like that. Not too heavy, something that's either just kind of in the opening or just in the background, Alexa, what's going on, House Halls? Halls is doing pretty good. What are your thoughts on Dior Fahrenheit EDT from 68 or 88? I think the original Fahrenheit, I'm not going to say it's a fragrance I would wear, but I think it definitely does get kind of overhated. Any fragrance that came out in the 80s or 90s has a tendency to get hated on simply because it's an old man scent. Now, as far as Fahrenheit goes, if you do kind of like that like super masculine, old school kind of gas vibe, it's a great fragrance. I actually sprayed it on, I think one of my buddies when we were at our local Dillard's like sprayed it on my clothes. And I won't lie, I didn't think it was like the worst fragrance ever. Off the cap, I didn't like it. On my skin, on a tester, I didn't like it. But when it was just kind of like, I had like a spray or two just kind of like coming up off my clothes a little bit, it really wasn't bad. Love Oud Maracuja, heavy on the leather, tropical, patchouli, rose, and vanilla. 10 out of 10 for me. Azure Oud is trash. That's the one I was thinking of. Why do you think it's why do you think it's trash? If you want to go leather, start with ombre leather. Ooh, no. I've tried a decent amount of leather fragrances, PG. Just do not like them. I've tried, all the Tom Ford leathers. Tried what else have I tried with leather? I don't know. Mainly Tom Ford is a lot of the leathers I've tried because they have a lot more leather fragrances. Even like Red Tobacco, that has a leathery vibe to me. I've tried a decent amount of leather fragrances. It's just really not for me. I don't like that scent profile. Not a fan of the fragrance at all. Oud Maracuja smells like Band-Aids and iodine. Damn, dude. When Grimm says Oud arrives, I'm going to do first reactions. I'm scared. Grimm said it's the worst. Wait, so he got a bottle, said it was bad, and you guys did a trade, or you bought it from him, or you bought your own bottle? Can you tell her I said hi? Yeah, of course, Alexa. I will tell her when I see her. I'm going to be seeing her here in a little bit. So we have, this is the kind of not super good matchup. They're still both like sweet fragrances, but we have more of like a night out sweet fragrance with a tropical sweet fragrance. So not the best matchup, but I still feel like, we can do a solid matchup here. We have City Rhythm, Redline 2654, and Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultramall. With Redline 2654, this is a cross between City Rhythm Miami and City Rhythm San Diego. Very, very good fragrance, right? Here you get a sea salt note, you get some ambergris, you get a lot of citrus, you get some vanilla, and there's no note that I can pull out that gives me this scent. But when it's all kind of combined, coming together, I get this almost blue Jolly Rancher sort of vibe. Very tropical. It's an extrait de parfum. It lasts a long time. Beautiful fragrance here. With Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultramall, you get lavender, vanilla, pear, some woods, a nice green vibe. One thing that is interesting, right? When I first got my City Rhythms, no way in hell would the City Rhythm 100-0 Ultramall. There's no way everyone would be voting for the City Rhythm. But City Rhythm has been getting a lot more recognition recently, and a lot more people have been trying them. So I am happy to see this. Ultramall, I still think it's a good fragrance, even though it's not winning here. You know, this is my top complimented fragrance of all time. Very, very good fragrance. Great longevity, great projection. It looks like Redline is going to win. I don't think anyone else is going to vote. And it would be crazy if somehow Ultramall had like a 6-0 comeback. Redline 2654 won 100% to 0 off of 6 votes. There we go. There was literally a time where if I had Ultramall in a fragrance battle, that would win. That would win no matter what. Like, it was just such a loved fragrance. And the hype is still there, for sure, but it's not like it once was. And as PG says, Ultramall is not overrated. Their dupes are. Absolutely. The dupes are not good. It's already a synthetic DNA. It doesn't need to be done even more synthetic and even more cheap. Ultramall is way too sweet. Diego, you are way too sweet. Yeah, I gave that Azure Oud to Grim. It was dumpster juice. Damn, you guys really did not like that. Middle Eastern fragrance is worth it. Do they project good? Think of buying Assad, Liquid Brun. Are they good? Or is it a hit or a miss? So I think Assad would be worth it. I've never tried it, but the description I've heard of it seems good. Liquid Brun, I did not like. Liquid Brun smelled like, it had a great vanilla in it, but it smelled like cardboard. I don't think you should get Liquid Brun. It's really not that good in my opinion. A couple dupes, though, that I do think are really good. If you get Lattafa Kamarikawa and something like Lattafa Assad, I feel like you'd be really, really good. You know, Kamarikawa, more of kind of like a boozy, seductive sort of scent, like a good date night scent. Nah, Grim did a giveaway Michael Malal, Amber and Smoke, and Azure Oud because he hated it so much. Damn. And it's interesting too because Grim at like his local malls and stuff, they have these. I don't know if it's a kiosk or like an actual store. But they have like, it's like buy one get one free or I don't know if it's buy two for, well, I guess I was gonna say I don't know if it's buy two for the price of one. That's the same exact thing as I just said. But like literally he talks about how he can go in, pay like $120 for Ocean Noir, and if he wants to just grab another bottle of it, he can grab it, bring it up, and they only charge him for one. It's not just him. It's like this store just has like a buy one, get one free thing. I don't know. Whale puke. Yes, whale puke smells actually very good. And here's the thing, Ralph. It's not actual whale puke or poop. You know, that's what ambergris is. In the U.S., which is where I am, and these fragrances are made, the City Rhythm is made, you can't use real ambergris, so you have a synthetic ambergris. It's synthetic compound replicating ambergris. So yes, it still kind of has that scent, but there's no actual traces of like any whale, anything in there. Venom, get Collage, Vanilla Dunes if you want Altair DNA, Beautiful Winter Fray. Yeah, just do not get Liquid Brun. Vote Redline, Ultramall way too sweet. Damn, Micah, I'm sweet. Say my name. Helvy, Rehabiam. What's going on? Liquid Brun smells like corn husk from tamales. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, dude. Skip Liquid Brun, get Vanilla Dunes. Just jokes. I'm cool with it. Oh yeah, no, I know. I was just giving a background of ambergris. Because you know there are a lot of notes that a whole lot of people, just like a lot of notes you wouldn't expect, and a lot of notes that are like banned and stuff. But yeah, I would like to try real ambergris. I really would like to try that for sure. Have you ever tried Dior Homme 2020? So I don't know what I had. No, Dior Homme 2020, no. I've had Dior Homme Cologne, new formulation. Dior Homme Intense, newer formulation. But I think it was like Dior Homme Intense 2020, something like that. And Dior Homme Sport 2017. All of those fragrances were good, but they're not in my collection anymore because like there are better fragrances out there. The only one between all of those that I really wish I still had was Dior Homme Cologne. just because like it literally just smelled like a lemonade. Like there's no other way to put it. It smelled like a fresh and clean lemonade. So here we have Sospiro Vibrato going up against YSL Myself. I just kind of wanted this, you know, just a kind of like a fresh and clean fragrance battle right here. You know, versatile fragrances, and in my opinion, this is the best year-round niche fragrance I own, and this is the best year-round designer fragrance I own. So with Sospiro Vibrato, you get, ooh, beautiful fragrance. You get grapefruit, you get ginger, you get some powdery notes, some green notes. I don't believe you get woodsy notes. I believe it's green notes that you get, but it's one of the two. It's green notes or woodsy notes. I don't think it's both. Vibrato, though. It's only an eau de parfum, but this one lasts crazy long off my skin, projects crazy well. I really want, obviously, when this bottle runs out, I will get another bottle of Vibrato, but I want to get like Afnan Tarothi Blue, or, you know, like Ingenious Ginger, some other fragrances with this similar scent profile. I absolutely love Vibrato, and I got a deal on this one. $80 in Liquid Brun. I traded to my friend for this. He said it smelled like, he said something crazy when he was trading it to me. He's like, yeah, I don't know, like it smells like pee or something like that. And he loved this one. And then he just randomly thought it smelled like pee. So I got a really good deal on this one. And then YSL Myself, you get Bergamot, Calabrian Bergamot, Tunisian Mandarin Blossom, I believe it is in the middle, and Brofix and Patchouli in the dry down. YSL Myself is just much more of a clean out of the shower, clean laundry sort of vibe, whereas Sospiro Vibrato is still a clean out of the shower vibe, not really a clean laundry vibe, but Vibrato is like, you know, I'm fresh, I'm clean, but I still really want a lot of attention. You know, this is definitely an attention grabbing fragrance, whereas YSL Myself will still for sure grab attention, but it's much more of just like a leisurely wear fragrance. You know, you wear both of these and like, you know, you'll smell good. Ever since you got a new girlfriend, you stopped binge buying fragrances. For what reason? Just because like you have to spend money on her, you kind of realize like you weren't into it, or what? I could definitely see, you know, when you get into a new relationship, not spending as much on fragrances and stuff, just because it's like, you know, one, you kind of want to like look put together, you know, you don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm ordering 10 freaking fragrances a month. And of course, dude, having a girlfriend is expensive. Nobody talks about that, dude. Having a girlfriend is so damn expensive. Gabriel Thay, that's quite accurate. I don't think I can unsee it. Vibrato over Myself. Wait, is that Vibrato over Myself? Okay, I've never been good at this. I don't know they call it like alligator hands or whatever in school. I don't know what way it goes. Since the mouth of Myself is over Vibrato, my brain makes me think it's Myself over Vibrato, but it's Vibrato over Myself, right? Or is it Myself over Vibrato? I'm not good at math, guys. I'm good at science. I'm good at social studies. I'm good at being tall. Not good at math. Also got Rose's Musk for your mom for Christmas. Ooh, what brand is that from? Is that Mancera, or am I thinking of a different rose fragrance from Mancera? Last matchup here, we have Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau EDT going up against Zaharoff's Sun-Kissed Island. Versace Hawass versus Invictus. So I don't have Invictus, but I do have Hawass. If we're just talking the original Invictus, I think in today's day and age, Hawass is a little bit more worth it because they'll last around the same time, but it's just much cheaper. Have you used Mont Blanc Explorer? Because I can't afford Creed Aventus. I have used it, yes. Explorer, it's a good fragrance if you kind of want more of like a citrusy take on Aventus. But if you want more of a pineapple take on Aventus, I would say go Caid Al Farsan. Like super juicy pineapple sort of fragrance there. You enjoy blind buying fragrances, or the opposite. I enjoy blind buying fragrances for sure. Montal. So pretty much Mancera. Vibrato's a good one I hear things about. Yeah, it's so good. Jason, what's going on? Still in the day, Central Obsession, Cherry Smoked Bourbon. Ooh, that sounds great. What is that one duping? What's up, Diego? Open alligator mouth always goes towards the greater option. That's never made sense to me. See, because my thought process with it is whatever the alligator mouth is going towards in to me, it's like it's eating it. It should be eating the worst thing. It's never made sense to me. But yeah, this is why I'm not a math teacher, guys. We have John Paul Gaultier's Le Beau EDT. With this fragrance, 3 simple notes: bergamot, coconut, and tonka bean. Really, really good fragrance. When you first spray this on, yeah, you get that nice kind of fresh, subtle, citrusy kick. Then you also get this beautiful coconut that starts to come out, and the coconut is the prominent, very prominent feature of Le Beau. When you have 3 notes, there's going to be one that's going to be pretty heavy. And for this one, it's for sure that coconut. It's nice, sweet, juicy, vanilla coconut comes out, and then as it dries down, a tonka bean comes out, which kind of adds that sweet vanilla vibe. Super good fragrance, though. And I often tell people, if you just want a straightforward coconut scent, I think Le Beau EDT is like one of the best ones because it's, 70-75% coconut. It's just very, very coconut heavy. And then Zaharoff's Sun-Kissed Island, you get some seaweed, some jungle essence in the top notes, kind of some weird notes in here. You get some skin musk, you get coconut milk, you get tequila, you get some lime. Really, really good fragrance here. I don't know what just happened to my voice. Really good fragrance here. Now, this one is a limited edition, so they sold out of the first batch at $140 for the 2 ounce. So they came back out, they had some more bottles, and they did their second run for $155 for the 2 ounce bottle. One of my subscribers, because I wasn't going to be able to get this bottle, one of my subscribers bought me one. He's like, just pay me back whenever you can. So bought me this bottle. Very, very happy that I could get this one because I knew I wanted it. And I just genuinely thought I was not going to be able to get this fragrance. I was thinking I'm going to have to wait till a clone comes out, something like that. But I got a full bottle of it. Very, very happy about it for sure. It is 50-50 though. So let's see. Le Beau EDT or Zaharoff's Sun-Kissed Island. But yeah, since Zaharoff's Sun-Kissed Island has sold out for the second time, and this is it. That's it. Now you can't buy these for $155 anymore. You can look on like eBay and stuff like that, but these fragrances are already going up to like $400 for a bottle. So yeah, crazy expensive, and gonna be sad when this fragrance runs out for sure. It's an original creation. Gotcha. How's Alexandria 2? I've never tried it, honestly. Vote Sun-Kissed Island. There you go, Scott. Jason Alabama came back, down 17-0. Kicker missed 2 important field goals. Y'all, if you guys want to talk about a good game, that Seahawks-Rams game, oh my God, dude. I was thinking, when the Rams in overtime went up to 37, I'm like, that's it. The Rams are going to win. It's done. Because it was a backwards pass, whatever, so it counts as a fumble. As much as all these Rams fans want to be like, oh my God, they cheated. It's in the rule book. It's not like the Seahawks just like pulled a rule out of their butt and just were like, oh, this is a rule now. Like it's in the rule book. He threw it behind him. It got deflected. That's a fumble. That's not an incomplete pass. And that's why, even if it is an incomplete pass, you should try to recover the ball no matter what in football. You don't just leave a ball down. You should grab it because if, something weird like that does happen where it's a backwards pass, you could score a touchdown or at least get better ground or retain the ball. Finally, somebody said Kaid Al-Farsan. Thought I'm the only one who loves it. No, it's so good. It's so good. Scared facing Indiana, though. Playing here at the Rose Bowl. Going to be a stupid busy day and day of. It was a really good game. Thought Indiana was overrated until they beat Ohio State. Maybe overrated. We shall see. Think the clone fragrances are all linear. Do they have development and evolution? I wouldn't say at all clone fragrances are linear. Linear within fragrances just means that, you have more of like a basic scent profile, something that doesn't really change from the opening to the dry down. There's nothing in Middle Eastern fragrances or anything that would just make them linear. Same thing with designers and niche. There's nothing in them that would just make them linear because they're clones or because they're Middle Eastern or because they're niche. For fragrance to be linear, it kind of does have to be like purposely like that. There are specific notes that don't change much from the beginning to the dry down, and those are what you use in a linear fragrance. How about Tried Arabian's fragrance? like from like actual Arabic brand. No, I have tried Arabian's Tonka though. Some expensive tickets. Texas A&M playing Miami right now. Got 2 free tickets. Game was really good. Good friend. Indiana did. Nami Diego, I'm off for 2 weeks. All right, let's see. Next fragrance battle. We got 3 niche fragrances ended up winning, and then 1 designer fragrance. And the designer fragrance that ended up winning, I was not thinking it was going to win that matchup. If you guys have smelt or seen Sunkissed Island, you know how much hype that fragrance is getting. And maybe even would be surprised that, Sunkissed Island didn't win that matchup, Hello, oh Brazil. Hello, oh America. I don't know what O means. Hopefully it's just from. Must be nice. What's good, Mikey? Atomic, what's going on? So we have City Rhythm Redline 2654. With this fragrance, you get some ambergris, some coconut, some citrus, I believe there's like lime, some orange, some mandarin, something like that. You do get a nice vanilla vibe in here as well. Super, super, super good fragrance right here, right? This is an extrait de parfum, lasts a long time, projects super, super nicely. Yeah, great fragrance here. Great fragrance for sure. Don't think many people have smelled Sunkissed Island or would have won for sure, for sure. And I think that is the issue. Like that was the same issue that I kind of had with us. Hey, Chip Wellington, gross, full of chemicals. Well, guess what? Believe it or not, we're all made out of chemicals and stuff. And guess what, Chip? You're going to be over here. Oh my God, there's paraffins. There's artificial scent. Bro, I guarantee unless you are like literally going through looking at everything in your house, you have stuff that are releasing, and it's not, I thought it was parabens, not paraffins, but releasing paraffins and a bunch of stuff like that. Literally, unless you are going through looking at everything, making sure nothing has artificial scent or anything, and don't come in here and talk about the gross chemicals. Guess what? We have gross chemicals in us. Well, literally, Micah autocorrected Mikey. Bad boy, Atomic. No. I wouldn't have banned that dude too if he just came in and said just like one thing about it, but he starts like spam messaging about it. Vote 2654. There you go. All right. Anyways, that was my description of 2654, and then we had Paraffin Boy come in. Mancera Instant Crush, clone of Baccarat Rouge. Get a lot of florals. You get some vanilla. You get some woods. Really, really good fragrance here. Both of these fragrances, great. They get good compliments. They're very, very strong. Stanford, what's going on? Smells good in the hood. Pulse Box, what's going on? All right, Redline 2654 won 67% to 33%. Really like Instant Crush, but never smelled 2654. Hey, you got to try 2654 baseball, Ben. Also, Ben, how are you doing? I don't think I've seen you in here yet. Chips and Wellington's probably worse for you than a couple sprays of scented water. It's just like, I don't know. Here's the thing I've never got. Like, I made a video one time, like earlier on into my fragrance, channel and stuff, where it's like, are fragrances bad for you? Because I had a lot of people be like, oh, are they bad for you? I heard that they're bad. And I looked up some stuff, and kind of the verdict that I got is, if you're using a scented body wash, a scented shampoo, scented fabric softener, scented laundry detergent, it has no more effect on you than fragrances, So I'm like, hey, put out that info. And I had so many people be like, you didn't even research this, bro. You didn't even research this. You're just saying stuff because you like fragrances. And like so many people came in and started like bugging out, and it's like, dude, they're literally not like they're I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think if you are going to, try to protect yourself from parabens, it's not even paraffins, parabens and stuff like that, get rid of it from everything. I've never understood the people who like just try to take aim with fragrances. I've had so many people like come in and comment on videos and stuff, be like, oh, it's so bad for you. And then they like try to tell me like reasons on why it's bad and why I should stop wearing it. And it's like, dude, it's my life. I enjoy fragrances, Are they bad for you? Look at Jeremy Fragrance. They're just bad for Jeremy Fragrance. So many trolls. They didn't ruin Jeremy. Yeah, I don't have any Mason Azrar, no. I think Jeremy has mental illness. I don't even think he has mental illness. I think more recently in his videos, he's actually been pretty normal. Now, maybe something happened in his life that kind of sent him down a little bit of a spiral. But where he's at now compared to where he was, say, 6 months ago, we're talking about two totally different Jeremys. You know, we have, I don't want to say it, we pretty much have old Jeremy back. He's dancing, he's laughing, he's not, you know, chewing on frankincense anymore. He's doing a bunch of legit stuff. LeBeau, you get bergamot, coconut, and tonka bean. Vibrato, you get grapefruit, you get ginger, you get some woodsy notes, some powdery notes, some green notes. Very, very good fragrances here. I haven't watched them in so long. Game of Spades, House, better than Bulgarmi, Hectic, or Bougermi. So what I've heard with Bougermi, good fragrances, but I don't know if they're going to be expensive because they're from Australia. And I know Australia has really weird, like, imports, I believe. Yeah, they have really weird, like, import regulations where, like, a lot of fragrances become crazy expensive in Australia. So I would assume it'd be the same when it goes out. You know, you have to pay a lot in shipping for the Bougermi fragrances, where the appealing thing with, you know, the Joe Milanos, all Harmains and stuff, you know, Aqua Dubai, they're available in the US. They're like readily available. I don't know if Bougermi is set up in the US. I know that they were only set up in Australia for a while, but who knows? Maybe, you know, they are set up in the US now and it's not too expensive, but I don't know. I would just, it really depends. If you don't have to pay shipping and stuff, or a crazy amount in shipping, and it's cheaper than the Joe Milanos, I'd try out the Bougermi. But on the off chance that it's a lot because it has to go through, like, you know, customs and stuff like that, I believe it could get pretty expensive. Jeremy off that Colombian, is he still licking fragrances? No. I hope not, at least. Haha, chewing frankincense. I'm dead. I thought you were gonna say chewing on feet. No, dude, there's this video I saw where yeah, no, there's literally this dude, hold on, 73% to 27%. I said that there's this dude, as if we weren't just talking about Jeremy Fragrance. Dude, Jeremy Fragrance in this video, he has like this little bag of he says it's frankincense or whatever, and he's like, the smell of frankincense, and he starts like smelling it or something, and then he just like pops a couple in his mouth and starts chewing it, and he's like, very aromatic, it tastes good. Stanford, the bad influence. Y'all, if you guys have not, please make sure to drop a sub, drop a like for future content. I upload 2 shorts a day. I do 1 long form every 3 days. And, you know, I try to be very consistent. I'm 100% honest with my reviews. If I think something's good, I say it's good. If I don't think it's good, I tell you it's not good. I also do giveaways every 1,000 subscribers. I'm thinking for my next giveaway at 5K, I'm going to be doing Lattafa Kamarakawa as a giveaway. So if you guys are interested, please make sure to drop a sub, drop a like, and show me some love across, you know, on my channel. As I'm getting older, leather fragrances becoming appealing mainly for winter as the versatility isn't great, though I enjoy other genres. Abdul, you are 100% right, you know. Leather and those kind of more mature notes and stuff become way more appealing as you know, become more mature yourself. Now, you know, that's why you'll kind of see a lot more older people really liking oud, you know, opposed to like the younger crowd who really doesn't like oud that much. Very, very interesting, you know, and it's cool to see how thoughts on fragrances and scents and DNAs and notes change across the generations, you know. I have a view, Jeremy, got them off fragrance. Okay, so you didn't have to pay expensive shipping. I was just worried because I did my collaboration with Twist, right? They sent me out these 2 fragrances, and I had 2 people who wanted to order this dupe of, this is Twist Heritage number 137, and this I almost said Liquid Brun dupe, PDM Altair dupe. And I had a couple people be like, oh, you know, like, whatever, I went to order it, and shipping, like, the fragrance is $45, and shipping is $46, you know? So it's like, they're paying more in shipping than they would for the actual fragrance, which that sucks for sure. Stanford was at Whispering One, Lip Persona, Whispering Kiss, best YouTuber. I thank you, Will. already have Angel Share. Do you need Kawa? I mean, so here's the thing. I think as a whole, I don't think the whole Commer line should be looked at as Angel Share clones. Especially not Kawa. Kawa is so different than Angel Share. You know, I've smelled Angel Share, smelled Kawa many, many times. And I don't know. I think that they're more kind of just slight inspirations, but I don't even know if I would call like Kawa a twist or anything on Angel Share. Oh my god, why can I not move this down? I'd just say it's more of an original fragrance at this point. What's the fragrance of the day? Will, my fragrance of the day, I just put it up. This is Mancera's Amber Fever. Really, really good fragrance here. You get whiskey, caramel, and some tonka bean in the top notes, a kind of woodsy, dry down, really good fragrance there. Montrese, what's going on? How's your day going, bro? The coffee note is nice, for sure. The coffee note's so good. Really good performance and scent bubble, mid at best with a scent, makes up for it. Oh, see, dude, here's the thing. I hate when like a fragrance sounds so good. The notes look good, everything looks good, and then you either see a lot of people being like, "Oh, it smells so good," but it doesn't last longer. It doesn't project well. For me, you know, I've seen so many people be like, "Oh, I don't care if my fragrance smells good. I just want something beast mode." I've never understood that. I would much rather wear a 10 out of 10 smelling fragrance with 5 out of 10 performance than a 5 out of 10 smelling fragrance with a 10 out of, with 10 out of 10 performance. I hate kind of the mindset that some people have behind that. They're like, I just want to be smelled. And if that applies to anyone in my chat, I'm sorry. I still love you guys, but I think in the end, we should be wearing fragrances for scent. Of course, if a fragrance has good longevity and good projection, that's a plus, but I don't know. I think the big trend we've been seeing with like beast mode fragrances and stuff like that, it's not really a good trend because you're getting a lot of fragrances that smell the same because there are only so many synthetic compounds and stuff within perfumery that can last that long, so you get just a lot of similar Baccarat Rouge smelling fragrances, more basic DNAs and stuff that you smell time and time again, but Mancera made it stronger. Mancera made Instant Crush stronger than Baccarat Rouge. I don't know, just that whole trend I don't really like. Best place to get samples like Mind Games, Mentor. So really with sample sites, it depends on what you want to get. I would just look up some samples of Mentor, kind of compare prices and see. Because on one place, everything else could be super expensive, but Mind Games Mentor could be crazy cheap compared to other samples and vice versa. Live Imagination got me 4 hours and it's gone. Damn, dude. What's the next fragrance you want to get? Well, there are a couple I asked for Christmas, which I believe I've said something about them already, but I don't really want to like spoil it again, if I can. But as a whole, I want to try more like grapefruit ginger fragrances. So Spiro Vibrato, here's the matchup right here. So Spiro Vibrato, you get grapefruit, you get ginger, you get some powdery notes, some green notes. Redline 2654, much more tropical fragrance. You have some coconut, some citrus, some vanilla, some sea salt, some ambergris, and I get kind of a Blue Jolly Rancher vibe. It's 50-50. We need some more people to vote on this. We need a clear winner. For me, that's Royal Yacht, EDT, Carlos, Sprays for Days. I've heard Sprays for Days is good. I've heard it's great. What fragrance disappointed you the most? Red Tobacco. Want people to smell me before I walk into the room. Diego. See, here's the thing. So long as that fragrance smells good, then perfect. But when I tell you, I've smelled some people wearing fragrances that are just crazy strong and don't smell good, and that just ruins the vibe. Just straight up ruins my day. Mike is giving everyone game on the same game. A Stanford. I try, You definitely will with that oud you love. Diego, they already do without wearing anything. Y'all, Diego just has aura, right? He walks in the room, and you could be facing the complete other way, and you could just sense when Diego walks in a room, Sometimes people complain about Diego must smell bad. I've had so many people, not really complain, but I've definitely had some people say, like, oh, you know, your fragrance is pretty strong. I've just been telling people that it's not my fragrance that's strong, it's my aura. You know, like I walk in the room and everyone can just like sense my aura as I walk past. Um, let's see. All right. Damn, still 50-50, y'all. We need somebody to vote. So Spiro Vibrato or City Rhythm Redline 2654. We can't leave this 50-50. We cannot leave this 50-50. I want something that's great projection and ladies love. So honestly, great projection, ladies love. Seems like, ooh, hold on, vibrato. Okay, we need to end that. I would say Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultramol. Yes, you know, it's a popular fragrance. It's been around for a while, but it's just a nice vanilla DNA that gets a lot of compliments. Really does pull attention from the ladies. Oh, damn, here we go. Stanford, Merry Christmas, Michael. Let's see a Christmas dance with the $10 donation. Y'all, everyone, let's get a big round of W Stanford, and make sure to light up his comment. Make sure to like up his comment. What is a Christmas dance? What is a Christmas dance? Okay. It's been a while since I've done a dance. Do I have anything Christmassy? Hold on. Do I have anything Christmassy? Okay, I don't have anything Christmassy. Okay. So this is the Jingle Bell dance, okay? Okay. This is the Jingle Bell dance. Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I was going for a Christmas idea because you said Christmas. I have nothing Christmas related. I have presents. Stanford, I don't know what to do. That's why I'm not a dancer. That's why I'm not a dancer at all. But we're also gonna give you a quick gritty. We're gonna give you a quick gritty too. I'd say right foot creep. Ooh, walking with that heat. Oh man, stay low. Make sure they don't creep. Catch them bad, walk down. All right. Stanford ignited something in me. Stanford started something that can't be ended, guys. Okay. Stanford, I'm sorry. I was trying to go more Christmassy. But yeah, I really appreciate you. Clip it. You guys can clip it all you want. What are you watching? Atomic, you're watching the Micah Fragrance channel. Also, my hands reek like Guess body spray now too. So yeah. Smell so bad in my fragrance Dubois and Mind Games fragrances. You smell so, like, they smell bad or what? Get what you're saying. People end up wearing 12 to 14 sprays so people can smell them, but they end up giving a headache. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, there's some fragrances that need, 8, 9 sprays to be able to be smelt with. But there are some fragrances, too, that all you need is 3 or 4 sprays with, but people insist on doing, like, 10 sprays. Yeah, y'all, W Stanford. I was not expecting that donation, and kind of felt bad because I got donated to like the other week. I don't think I gave him the option to do a dance or anything. It's my opinion on Dylan Blue. I have Dylan Blue right here. It's a good fragrance for sure. I don't think you can go wrong with it. Just kind of like a nice, versatile, synthetic fragrance. I will say that, but just a versatile scent for sure. Wearing Oud, clip it. Nicholas, what's going on? All right, we had Spiro Vibrato win 60% to 40%. So that is the fragrance battle. I didn't even realize that I ended up just taking up a whole hour anyways, pretty much. Really appreciate all you guys. Stanford, I really, really appreciate you, dude. Thank you for my Christmas present from you. Guys, Stanford gave me an early Christmas present. You guys want to talk about someone being a real fan? Stanford gave me my first Christmas present of 2025. So, Stanford, I really appreciate you. Dylan Blue is fantastic. Really do. Wearing Oud today. Clip it. Definitely not team overspray. Exactly what I just joined. Nicholas. Stanford sent a $10 donation. So we had to we had to get the juice a little loose, you know what I mean? We need to get an Off-Non Collector's Edition. So that was one I was thinking about asking for Christmas, but there was a different new release that I really wanted, so I asked for that one instead. If I have some money left over after Christmas, after like Hollis's birthday and stuff like that, I may end up getting it, but yeah. W Stanford, W Stanford. Now we need a truck video. Oh yes, and Will, I read your comment in my head, but I just like didn't read it out. My truck is handling pretty good. Dude, my girlfriend hates whenever I call my car a truck because technically it is a truck. When I think of it more as just like an SUV, just because like that's what it naturally looks like in my head. But sometimes I'll mess with my girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, you like my truck? But yeah, it handles great in the snow for sure. You know, I have a 4-wheel drive. You know, it has a active 4-wheel drive system on it, so it's nice because you know majority of the time I'm just in like normal front wheel drive. But as soon as I start losing a little bit of traction, you know, it kicks in. And we only had a couple snowy days. It kind of rained a decent amount. If you guys have seen like Seattle's getting a bunch of rain, we got some of that rain too because I'm just up here in Montana. We got a bunch of that rain, melted all of our snow away. So we don't have any snow right now, but for the little, you know, time we did have snow, handled great. Wanted Mind Games French Defense so bad. That cherry is insane. I really want to try like Queening, French Defense, El Camino, LOL. No. It's a Ford Escape. It's weird because a lot of vehicles you'd look at and you would think are like an SUV or something like that, they end up technically being a truck. Like a sports utility truck, I think is what it would be called. I don't know. Micah, we need more guest appearances from Porter. He was gonna come on for a video that we were gonna film, but we ended up going to like our Walmart together, and we ended up just messing around in Walmart a little bit. I want to visit Montana. Montana is great. Yeah, Montana, it's for sure a great place. I would say if you are going to visit, do not visit in the winter. Like the winters up here in Montana are beautiful. No, hold on. Don't come up here in the winter if you live in like a warm place, right? If you live in California, if you live in Arizona, do not come up here during the winter. Like it is so cold, shit ton of snow. It's not built for, you know, warm, for people who are, you know, used to the warm. If you're used to the cold, for sure, come up to Montana. But Montana, oh, you live in California? Yeah. So, well, do not come up. Do not come up here in winter. Do not come up here in winter at all. Come up in the summer though. Like, really, June we still kind of get a decent amount of rain, but it starts to get like really nice in June. July and August are those 2 months that are just like it's consistently super nice. You know, we don't get a lot of rain. We kind of do have some bad forest fire seasons, but they start more or less in like late August, early September, that kind of time frame. But yeah, you come in July or August, it would be great. What city to visit in Montana? So Montana has a lot of ghost towns that are really cool to visit, which is a big part of why I would say come during the summer so you can get around and the roads aren't going to be shitty. So there are a lot of ghost towns and stuff to visit too, like Garnet Ghost Town. There's also this town called like Old Virginia, something like that. And it's like one of the only intact, like still being used, cowboy town, I suppose. You know, like everything is preserved. They still have like an old candy store. They make everything by hand. So Garnet Ghost Town is cool. And Old Virginia, not Old Virginia, Virginia City, Montana is super, super cool. As far as the cities, you know, a big city to visit, do not go to Billings because Billings just has a lot of like, we don't have a lot of gang violence, but Billings is like our most violent town and stuff. Don't go to Billings. I would say if you really do want to come and look at stuff, you should go to Kalispell. Because Kalispell has Flathead Lake really close to it, that Kalispell Polson area. So you should go to Flathead Lake, you should do that. And Kalispell is a decent sized town as well. I think Missoula is a cool town too. Helena, that's our capital. If you want to look more, you know, into like Montana history and stuff like that, go to Helena. Billings is ghetto. Yeah, Billings is not good. Just like we don't have a lot of gang violence and stuff in Montana because we're in Montana, you know, but yeah, just Billings, for whatever reason, is that kind of like oddball city that like there's shootings in, not like school shootings or anything, but you know, there's like gang violent shootings and stuff. Um, but yeah, and it's dude, you're on the whole like shitty side of Montana over there, right? Montana, we're the fourth largest state. Eastern Montana, flat. There's like nothing to do, right? The eastern 3/4 of Montana, there's nothing to do there. You go to the west, that's where you have like, you know, Missoula, Kalispell, Butte, Helena. I was gonna say Great Falls, but not Great Falls. You know, you get a lot of these cities and stuff that I think if you're gonna visit Montana, visit Western Montana if you want more of kind of like a not partying aspect, but more of just like a normal, you know, like day to day, um, more normal city. But we have a lot of stuff if you do want, like, if you're interested in history. Montana's like Wyoming, there's nothing there. Except we have more people than Wyoming, if I'm not mistaken. I think because Wyoming's the least populated place. Y'all got good food, I bet. Why we have pretty good food? I don't know per se, like, you know, because I've lived in Montana my whole life, like what is, you know, a Montanan food specifically. But yeah, I mean, we have great food up here, a lot of good places. The city that I live in, the city is kind of like we're known for like our college and stuff, but you know, and we're known as like a college town, but we're also just known for like being like a very close community, helping each other and stuff. So there's a lot of like mom and pop shops and stuff like that, you know, and family restaurants and stuff that just get a bunch of support. That's what I really love about Montana, specifically the city I'm in. Sounds like Colorado, the eastern flat, the eastern half of the state is as flat as my girlfriend. Damn, Stanford. I'm gonna tell your girlfriend you said that. You have great steaks, Montana. Yes, yeah, we have very, very good beef in Montana. My family in specific, yeah, it is my family. My stepdad's family in like the 90s and stuff, we actually won like best beef in Montana. We have like a ranch and yeah, you know, like very, very good beef, even not coming from our farm. Really good beef, but yeah, you know, like that's something I can speak a little more closely on because you know it's like has something to do with my family. Yeah, like ranching and stuff and beef, huge, huge here in Montana, and very, very, very good beef. Even like elk and bison and stuff like that, like you know, you can eat up here, and it's so good. Well, I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a sub, drop a like. Stanford, I really, really appreciate the donation. Your family has really good meats. Well, we don't, so that was back in the 90s. And up until like the mid 2010s, later 2010s, we kind of like stopped. Like we were still doing everything on our farm, but we kind of like stopped recently. You know, more recently in the past couple of years. So currently we don't do anything, but yeah, we used to. Bison burgers are fire. Yeah, so good. So good. There used to be this place called like Baba's Burgers or something like that in my city, and they had like elk burgers, they had bison burgers, they had deer burgers, and like normal burgers, obviously, but wow, they were so good. Well, I appreciate you guys. Again, make sure to drop a sub and a like if you guys have not already. I appreciate you all. Have a good rest of your day. Peace, everyone.